Hey there, this is John. If you're new to our website, I just want to welcome you to our website. But a lot of you may have found us because you're doing a search for those people who call you and say, this is Joe or Amy or whoever from Senior Benefits. And what I want to do real briefly, if you watch this video to the end, we will show you how to find out who's calling you and that we are not calling you. And also, how to do it, maybe even profit from it, because what they are doing is illegal. But if you'll see, here's my office. We don't have a lot of cars in the parking lot because we're not running a call center here, because that's what is happening to you. We don't have a big office, but it's pretty nice, and kind of show you around a little bit. But I'll show you, we don't have a whole lot of office space here, very small offices. In fact, this is my humble office here. Not a whole lot going on, but what is not happening is that we're doing any telemarketing here. And I'm making this video to help you and me stop it, because trust me when I tell you that this is costing me money more so, and me more aggravation than it ever will be you. It's cost me thousands of dollars, and I'm not asking for sympathy here because, but before you jump to any conclusions, if you're willing to be educated, I'll explain who is calling you, teach you what to do the next time they call you, and if you're really proactive in this, you can help stop this for everyone and possibly get paid serious money to do this. So let me kind of set the stage for you here. Some of you found this video, as I said, we received another call from an insurance marketing company, and they said, this is maybe Valerie or Susan from Senior Benefits. And we're just reaching out to you today because we want you to let you know that there is a new guaranteed issue life insurance plan that has just been approved in your state. No exam required, costs pennies a day, blah, blah, blah. Does that sound familiar? You proceed to unload on them, as most people have, and then you just hang up. And rightfully, you're frustrated. So you decide to take action, and you're going to finally do something. So you call back the number to complain, and when you do, you find out it's a bogus local number. So then you go to Google, and you search for one of these terms: Senior Benefits Insurance, or Senior Life Insurance, or Senior Benefits. And when you do, guess who comes up first? You guessed it, us. Now, there's another company that comes up sometimes too, and it's not them calling you either. And they've actually made a website explaining the same thing that I'm doing here, but they aren't showing you how to stop it. The website is called seniorbenefitcalls.com. Some of you call after hours and to our office and leave threatening messages. Some of you just get on the phone and start the complaining process until we kind of calmly explain to you what is going on. Now, most of the people, when we explain to them, they're very appreciative, and I personally take an average of 15 minutes to explain to people how to fight this. So I'm making this video to serve as a time saver for me. So if you have ever received any unwanted insurance telemarketing calls and have told them to stop, you are at the right place. Now, hopefully, as you can tell by now, I'm not in the business of irritating people. My mission statement video on this website is going to tell you how we truly want to help you, whether you do business with us or not. But this has cost me money in three ways. First of all, DDS tax. They come on my website, and they people that feel that they've been called by us and we have not. But they'll shut our website down, cost me money to get it back up. It cost me money because you call my toll-free number to complain to me. And then finally, it cost me money because I typically take the time to calm you down and help you understand what is going on here. So I'm begging you to watch this until the end, then I need for you to share this with everyone who you know has ever been bothered by this. This is not about how many subscribers I can get, not about that. It's just say to yourself, okay, it's the wrong person. Let me find out the right one and I'll help you. If revenge is what you're wanting, I can show you how to handle this. I'm not suggesting that you get revenge, but this is the best way to stop it. Let's face it, litigation has not stopped it. New laws created, it actually intensifies it because, some of you still may not believe what I say when I'm telling you it's me not calling you, but, people that are calling you are selling final expense insurance, okay? And they're doing it by telemarketing. And when you find my website, it says that I sell final expense insurance, and I do. But it's only 1% of my business. I am a chartered retirement planning counselor. I help seniors plan for retirement. Most of my income comes from managing 401ks and IRAs, rollovers, and helping people make Medicare choices. The people that are calling you are using a predictive dialer with purchase names and numbers, phone numbers of people of the ages between 50 and 85. And they have a whole room full of people calling you, and they're usually calling from India, South America, or the Philippines. Now, does it sound like I'm, calling you from any of those places, or does it sound like I'm from any of those places? Also, as I said, we don't have any type of outbound call strategy because we know it's annoying. And as I said, I am a chartered retirement planning counselor for seniors. And not only am I not calling you, I don't want that type of business because I really particularly don't want to do business with anyone who all of a sudden decides they're going to answer the phone and decided they might die and figured that they might need some life insurance. I work with people who plan. A person who would allow a total stranger to sell them life insurance plan over the phone on a whim doesn't plan, okay? So this type of business is typically, it has a 65% retention rate. In the industry, it's called a persistency rate. That means that 35% of the business is not going to stay on the books for an entire year, which creates a huge cash cow for the life insurance companies, and it's at your and my expense. Why? Because if I sold any of that business, I would have to pay back any commission they paid for me if it fell off the books within a year. And, they do not want to refund your money. If you were to drop the coverage in the first year, they're not going to refund you the money because they're going to tell you you were covered for 1 year. So they keep everything you paid and make me pay back my commission. So it's a cash cow for the life insurance companies, and they're not about to try to stop it because they are not calling you. It's been estimated that over 1 billion telemarketing calls are made per week. They are annoying, but keep in mind, telemarketing is not against the law. It's not. Again, telemarketing is not illegal, but laws do prohibit calling people on the do not call list. Therefore, almost no one in the U.S. is actually calling you. Okay? So, but the fine for making such calls is over $40,000 per call. Now, keep in mind, there is a fine, but the fine is never paid to you. It's paid to the FCC. So, but you can sue anyone who accidentally calls you, even if you are on the do not call list. However, if you have ever given anyone permission to call you, that's a different story. Be sure you haven't filled out a form online before you go any further, before you try to take action. Even filling out a form online will only give someone 31 days to call you. After that, if you're on the do not call list, it's breaking the law. You have to have current permission. So the people who are calling you are actually cheap labor, all right? And they are at this big call center, and they're only paid to ask you questions. This is important. They're only paid to ask you questions by a script to see if you're willing to talk to someone. Okay? They use a phony caller ID and hide. That's why they don't remove you from the call list. They don't care how many times you call back. You're never going to cause them any trouble. It's not going to happen. It's an exercise in futility. You're not going to cause the call center any problems. But no matter how many laws and fines there are, there's a way to crack this code, and I'll show you what to do. The numbers show that 1 out of 50 will actually be willing to talk to someone, okay? And at that point, you'll be transferred to someone who has a license in the United States. And that is where you're going to have to be smooth and calm and follow these directions that I'm about to give you. You need to buy, first of all, a portable digital voice recorder. And when they call, put the call on speaker and record it all. Video it too if you can. All right? So here's what you have to do. If you act interested, they will give you what is called some qualifying questions before they actually get you a price of what the insurance would cost you. Keep in mind, you're no more interested now than you were the first time they called, but now you're interested in finding out who's calling. So you really don't want to seem too easy to give them the information. You want them to have to pry the information out of you, but tell them, they're going to ask you questions about your health, and you tell them, hey, I may have had a kidney stone, or I may have a high blood pressure, something, but nothing not too serious, because then they're going to ask you how much coverage are you looking for. They're also pretty quickly, they're going to ask you about, do you have a valid checking account? Tell them, of course you do. I would suggest also that you tell them that the coverages that typically on a final expense case are between $5,000 and $25,000. Okay. But just tell them $5,000 and $40,000. Just tell them you want something in the $25,000 range, and they will be excited about that, because the insurance agents get paid based on the amount of premium. So the larger the face amount, the more they're going to make. So at some point during the conversation, the agent should have given you their name. If not, you kind of want to ask for it. Now, you don't ask for it in a tone which shows, that you don't trust them, but just, be ready. You have their name. Now, this last part is important. This is very important. This is what's going to make this work. They will ask you if you want to do an application. Hesitantly, you say, yeah, I guess, or yeah, go ahead. So they're going to ask you for your name and address. Don't give them bogus information on your address, because they've got your address right in front of them. It's going to be a red flag for them. They're going to question all that. They have your address already, and they have your phone number before they ever called you. It pops up on their screen, along with the script that they're going through. So if you tell them something other than you have, you're probably going to lose them at this point. Keep in mind, you don't really need to know their name at this point, but only what they told you their name was. You really don't have a phone number that they're calling from. All you have is a number showing up on the caller ID, which is not a valid number. That's all you have right now, because they could be giving you a bogus name. So what you want to do is give them your name and your address and your birthday, because they have it already. Now, then they're going to ask for your Social Security number. Don't give them a real Social Security number. Don't do that, okay? But make sure you write down whatever you tell them your Social Security number is, because they may ask you to repeat it, and you don't say, but you don't want to stumble. You want to. This has to be very calculated. So give them a Social Security number and not yours. And you don't have to worry about this, because when an insurance company checks information that's been given on an application, if the Social Security number and the name don't match, they don't go any further. The application is kicked out. That's not why you're given this. So, but this is make sure that you write down what you're telling them, have it ready, because they may ask you to repeat it. Here's the critical final piece of what you need to do. Okay, this is it. This is why you stay to the end. They're going to ask you for your bank account numbers. Tell them to hold on, let you go get your checkbook. Then say, which numbers do you want first? They'll probably say the routing numbers. This is very important now. Very important. Give them any 4 numbers that you want, and in the middle of it, hang up. That's what you got to do. Then get ready. Keep the recorder running, because now the agent that you were talking to, because they have to be a licensed agent taking an insurance application, they're going to call you back from their office or their personal cell phone number. And when they do that, you have them. You have the people who called you. And what you don't want to do is say, I can't find my checkbook, call me back. Do not do that, because you've just given them permission to call you back. Just hang it up. Just hang up. As you'll see, when you find out when you get their name, you can actually go to the State Department of Insurance, that state that you live in, and Google their name or search for their name, and you can find out all about them, their numbers and everything. But you can do a reverse search for the phone number. There's a bunch of ways, but once you have that phone number, you've got them. And you'll see that nobody here at seniorbenefitslife.com called you. And you can sue them for up to $500 per, even if it was an accident. And if you prove it was malicious, that you have told them over and over again, that you can get more. Now, I'm not trying to give you legal advice here. Go to a lawyer, ask them what's going on. So, look, this is the end of the video. This is the way to stop it. Wait, hold it, stop, hold the phone. This is not the end of the video. After I recorded the previous clip, I did some more research that you need to pay attention to. Everything I said in the videos thus far, I would suggest that you would do if you were to live here in North Carolina. However, the laws on recording calls are different depending on which state you live in. So there are 11 states that require both parties to consent before recording a phone call. Both parties need to know it. In all the other states, you only need one of the parties to consent, and one of those parties can be you. I found this information by doing a Google search, and I will include a link in the description below to a downloadable PDF file that was put out by a national law firm. I'm not here to endorse a law firm or anything like that. I don't even know who they are, but they can give you some legal direction on that. That PDF file will be helpful. So be careful out there. Also, I put a couple of links in the description to where I found information on how consumers can be compensated for this tort, is what it's called. I would suggest if you can't record a phone call or are uncomfortable about that, I would at least do the video. I would have video ready to do, because and I would video things like what you're saying and the caller ID on the phone as it comes up, and some of you have your caller ID come up on your TV screen, and you can record that. So you still can prove that someone called you without recording a phone call, but just be aware of everything I'm telling you. And now this is the end of the video, so please do this for me. Like, subscribe, and comment below if you want. But more importantly, as you can see, imagine getting 6 to 10 calls from people like you who are livid, who've gone the extra mile, and just want to be alone. So this is what I've endured for years now. And it's getting worse. So just do me a favor, just share this. More importantly, don't have to like and subscribe, but just share it with all of your friends and family. It just takes a few seconds, or anybody that you know is just disgusted beyond measure, so that we can all start living a peaceful life around here. And if anything I can do to help you further, just feel free to call me otherwise.